kwanza kupata habari za kila aina kupitia chaneli yetu ya YouTube ITV Tanzania. Cha kufanya, ingia YouTube, halafu tafuta chaneli yetu ITV Tanzania. Usisahau kubonyeza subscribe ili uweze kuunganishwa nasi kwa taarifa zetu zote. Kumbuka pia kuruhusu notification ili ujulishwe kila wakati tunapoweka taarifa mpya. ITV Tanzania, njia pekee ya kuhakikisha hupitwi na habari yoyote.
In Capital News tonight, President Dr. John Magufuli holds meeting with ward executives in the country. Executives from all the regions in the country at State House grounds in Dar es Salaam, where he listened to their concerns, views and advice before responding with various directives. In the meeting, President Dr. Magufuli assured ward executives that the government recognizes and values the role they play and responsibilities they're undertaking, but also
interfered, destroyed, or implemented understandards with the excuse of a ward, whether it be supervised by the ministry or under national vision or supervised by anyone, unless it is supervised by God. But any project supervised by funds from Tanzanian taxpayers, it is your concern. Do not go to a project is being built or a hospital is built at your ward. You go and visit it and someone tells you it is supervised nationally. The nation includes you. If you see embezzlement of funds, you are the first one to blow the whistle. Even if it is an engineer of what sort. The ward head is a huge person in the ward. You are the boss. The reason to call you here is to give you teeth and acknowledge yourselves that you are bosses. You are also supervisors of public servants in your wards. Any servant in your ward, you are the head supervisor of that servant, no matter what position he is in. If you are head of a ward, and in the ward there's a minister, at your ward there's a regional commissioner, at your ward there's a district director, or anyone else, you are the supervisor of serving at the ward. You should not be afraid of writing a recommendation for him, even if he was a higher position than you.
President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has emphasized on the importance of members of parliament to use modern information communication technology in developing good governance and democracy. Dr. Shein made the statement when opening the 50th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association CPA Africa Region meeting in Zanzibar.
Promoting the use of application ICTs.
I would like to say that promoting the use of ICT applications, especially by developing e-Parliament, has brought MPs and members of their constituencies closer together. This has also made it easier for people to give their opinions on various development issues which touch their daily lives.
Na hilo nikubali kwamba ni kweli.
It is true, at the meeting we have agreed on almost 3/4 of the meeting. There's only one meeting remaining, which is the general meeting, that will pass the issue. If we get the confirmation, then we will construct a 5-star hotel in Dodoma, and the hotel will be property of all African parliaments. It is a kind of investment that we thank our fellows for agreeing to do this, because for this to happen, it is not easy.
Ambao tunawashukuru sana wenzetu kwa kukubali.
Now, an application filed to oppose removal from his parliamentary seat of Singida East constituency by Tundu Lissu against the Attorney General has continued to be heard in the High Court of Tanzania in Dar es Salaam, with the applicant requesting the court to stop the swearing-in of the MP-elect Moraji Mtaturu on 3rd September. Advocate Peter Kibatala, leading a panel of 4 advocates, told the court that it would be difficult to continue hearing of the case if the elected MP is sworn in. He also said that procedures used by the Speaker to strip Tundu Lissu of his seat as MP for Singida East were not followed. The court then adjourned for half an hour before returning, with the state advocate led by the Solicitor General Dr. Clement Mashamba responding by requesting the court to dismiss some of the motions. Now, moving on, Inspector General of Police IGP Simon Sirro has warned residents of Kagera, Geita and Kigoma against engaging in criminal activities such as armed robbery in forests. IGP Sirro gave the warning at Nyakanazi town in Biharamulo district, Kagera region.
Successfully managed to capture a total of 42 types of weapons. However, I would like to commend them especially because of the fact that out of the 42 weapons that they impounded, 11 of them were AK-47s. The capture of 11 AK-47s is not a joke at all. In fact, it is a big thing. Our main aim is to ensure that the menace of armed robbery ends completely in the regions concerned. And I would like to say that we shall indeed achieve this objective, because anyone who fails to heed this warning will suffer the consequences for it. I would like to say that the IGP's visit has been a positive development for us. I would also like to add that we are taking the IGP's explanations as an official directive. Thus, each one of us in his or her own respective area is prepared to ensure that we carry out the IGP's directive.
The government, through the Land Transport Regulatory Authority, LATRA, has formed a commission to investigate the cause of the fire which gutted an express bus with registration number T159DGW with routes between Gerezani and Kimara in Dar es Salaam. The commission, which has 5 days to present its results, consists of LATRA, UDAT, the Rescue and Fire Force, Police Force and experts from the National Institute of Transport, NIT.
The government, but also to the public, to know what happened, leading to the burning of that car. Our cars are safe. The way they've been designed, first of all, they have ensured passenger safety. At the back, where the engine is, there are 4 automatic fire extinguishers, 2 powder ones and 2 water ones. Even the way the bus is made, if you check it, it has been made for rescuing to be easy. That is why you see it in that format. The glass can break easily, and there are special equipments for breaking the areas where a passenger can get out from. He can get out from anywhere.
Muhimbili National Hospital has clarified on reports concerning Morogoro oil tanker fire accident casualty Rusijo Molel, who was transferred to the hospital from Morogoro region a day after the incident and died on August 18th. The oil tanker accident occurred on 10th of August this year, with the latest statistics showing 104 have died from the incident.
Majeruhi walipokelewa hapa kutokea Morogoro ni majeruhi 47 ambapo siku ya tukio tarehe 10.
On the first day of 10th of August, we received 47 casualties from Morogoro. In the morning, we received 4 more casualties who were brought at the hospital by a helicopter. By 17th of August, we received another patient from Morogoro who was called Rusoji Molel, where his report from Morogoro Referral Hospital says that he was taken to the hospital on 11th of August, a day after the tragic fire incident. We have no reports on why he was taken to hospital late, but we are glad that we did our part in treating him, but unfortunately he died. So far, we have 11 casualties, where 6 of them are in Ward 6 in Sewahaji building, who are doing well and continuing with treatment, while 5 of them are still at the intensive care unit. The doctors at Muhimbili National Hospital are working day and night to rescue lives of these people. However, I would like to call on people to come forward on donating blood in order to help our fellow Tanzanians.
Ninachotaka kusema ni kwamba madaktari wa hospitali taifa ya Muhimbili wanajitahidi kwa juhudi zote kuhakikisha wenzetu hawapotezi maisha na wanarudi katika hali zao za kawaida.
The 16th parliamentary meeting is starting tomorrow in Dodoma City with various bills, including the one on e-government, expected to be tabled.
The main bill of this government that was in our committee is of the internet, and we expect it to be brought to the parliament for the first time, because now they want everything not to be in paper for communication. It is electronic communication. The whole world is doing that instead of using papers. So we expect the bill to be passed because it has been understood and the stakeholders have been interviewed and agreed.
My interest
is the tomorrow issue of congratulating Honorable President for his selection as SADC chair. My advice is we should not just end at congratulating him, we should go further and see how we can feed interests of Tanzanians of investing in the SADC market.
Tutafeed interests za Tanzania katika swala zima la kuwin soko.
Some environment conservation stakeholders from different nations in the world have criticized the tendency by some activist groups who spend a lot of funds to sabotage wildlife conservation efforts in African countries such as Tanzania, saying this hinders sustainable conservation of natural resources. They made their remarks in Geneva at the 18th Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species CITES conference.
Our view, the attitudes of the Western animal rights groups who spend a lot of money buying and corrupting the leadership of Africa are no better than the racists who came there in the 19th century. I used to be a United States diplomat. I had a lot of friends and colleagues who served in Tanzania. I have never had the opportunity to visit myself, but certainly the natural resources, the richness of the people, the important elements of their culture needs to be better known in the West. And
this COP has given us for relief somehow, especially under the great pressure that the tuskers, the big elephants, and very critical endangered species through poaching that had escalated to a level which was about to be unmanageable, that now it can be a relief for them to grow for wise decision-making in future, informed decision-making.
That is the end of national news. International news follows shortly. And in international news, Now, Kenyan authorities have suspended visits to the gorges of Hell's Gate National Park in the Rift Valley after flash floods killed at least 6 tourists and their driver. Authorities say that while it may not be raining in the gorges, rainfall from surrounding areas, buildings up and can rush through the restricted space.
This morning we started the operations very early in the morning at 6. And as we report now, we've been able to recover 5 more bodies around Suso area. They washed away right from the gorge to Suso area. So we're also being supported by the Red Cross, calling the bodies, the county security teams around the communities. And we hope now that we're able to get the next remaining missing person, who's a child. Of course, the victims were 7 in total. We had 6 Kenyans, and 1 non-resident who is of Asian origin.
As we went to the George, we stood on the guide told us to wait on this side, and then another couple with the guide joined us, and we stood there waiting for the diesel to stop so that we head back, because we weren't going inside the George, we were just standing there. And then at around 3 o'clock, water came out of nowhere. And I had my phone in my hand, and I was able to call the guy at the reception desk where we paid the entry fee to go down. And we told him, get this, and the guy next to me also shouted, get tunabeba na maji. And we thought rescue will come, but nothing. And then next minute, I see family going one after the other.
For a reason, he started calling, call after call. So I panicked, I disconnected the call, I tried calling him, the network was not going through. I called again, and all I heard was, Maji inatuchukua. It got disconnected. Tried calling, all the other numbers were all switched off. By the time I got home, my mom already had the information, my brother had called my mom. So we called Hell's Gate at the reception and informed about the incident. So they asked me for a few details, who are they, this and that. I said, my brother guys are stuck, can you find out? And they didn't have any audacity to call us back. They didn't call us. Zero communication from them. We've been calling them. I've called them more than 15 times. They did not even call us once to say what has been happened, who has been rescued.
May their soul rest in peace. Now, moving on, the Hurricane Dorian pounded northern Bahamas early on Monday, leaving wrecked homes, tumbled cars, and toppled power poles in its wake. The storm's top sustained winds decreased slightly to 270 kilometers as its westward movement slowed, crawling along Grand Bahama Island in what forecasters say would be a day-long assault. More people went to shelters as the Category storm approached, with tourist hotels shutting down and residents boarding up their homes. Now, moving on, in Democratic Republic of Congo, the Lieutenant General Mbala has called on residents in Beni and North Kivu to show them where the ADF rebels are hiding and what they will be awarded between $1,000 and $50,000 from their cooperation. Forces is calling on Beni residents to cooperate with military force due to FDLR determination on searching for FDLR soldiers who are disturbing peace and killing people in Beni. We're grateful for the efforts done so far. I'm praying that these efforts will continue in order to boost up security in this area. This will help in ending killings, since now there is going to be cooperation between residents and the military force. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand.
You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Business news tonight. Now, the Minister of Industry and Trade, Innocent Bashungwa, has said that 1,000 participants are expected to take part in a Tanzania-Uganda Business Forum to be held in Dar es Salaam on the 60th of September. He said the forum aims to increase business cooperation and address challenges between the two countries. Honorable President has invited President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to come to Tanzania on 6th of September, whom together will speak with traders in the country. President Museveni will come along with some business community members from Uganda for the purpose of meeting traders from Tanzania. Let us continue motivating each other, especially traders from other regions, not only from Dar es Salaam, to take this opportunity by participating in this meeting. Farmers from Mtwara and Lindi regions have called on the government to request fertilizer companies to also produce fertilizer in 5 and 2 kilogram bags instead of 50 kilograms only, which many farmers cannot afford to buy. The government should supervise in reducing the size of fertilizer packages. Some of them are available in bulks like 50 kilograms. They should bring small packages of 10 to 5 kilograms instead, since many people are farming in small quantities. Buying 50 kilograms becomes too much. That is why traders decided to sell fertilizer in kilograms. I'm calling on fertilizer factories to pack fertilizers in small quantities from 1 kilogram to 5 kilograms to 10 kilograms. Most traders have the tendency of selling fertilizers in kilograms instead of selling full bags of fertilizers to farmers. Fertilizer differ from the content they have inside. Some of them, once the bags are opened, then their nutritional value evaporates, and others draw moisture from the air. All these circumstances reduces the power of fertilizer and not good for farming activities. That is why we are here to educate people on the notion of good fertilizer users, as well as warning traders on the behavior of opening fertilizer bags. And in this case, there are stern measures that will be taken to all who will violate the government directive. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly. We'll be right back.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose and then
Welcome back, and in sports news. Now, Taifa Stars have done their last training prior their trip to Burundi for return match of the first World Cup qualifier, with all the international players except Abdi Banda meeting the team in Burundi.
We are the ones who called him to join his fellows in this team, but some things occurred and hindered him from coming on time. So he won't be in the squad for the said reasons, but all others are here and training, as you can see, has gone well.
Tanzania's representatives in all Africa Games who came back empty-handed have returned the national flag, with relations between the National Sports Council and Sports Association reported as among causes of the poor performance.
He was told the issue of your child being sick is for women. Fabian Joseph left and he was removed from the camp. The then RT administration didn't know, I guess. The Olympia Committee cannot remove an athlete from the camp. We are there to prepare them and you accompany them. It is the same ignorance as Nagai, that people are going to Nagai for a village-level competition and come back and lie to the Minister of the Republic of Tanzania that they have qualified.
Serie A have handed out badges to the winners of their awards last season, and the only player not wearing his is player of the season, Cristiano Ronaldo. Here's the story.
With Serie A handing them out to the winner of last season's goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, attacker, young player and player of the year award winners. Players can choose whether they wear them or not, and whilst most of the winners are, Player of the Year winner Cristiano Ronaldo has decided, according to reports, against wearing his because he doesn't want to be considered above his teammates. Samir Handanovic won Goalkeeper of the Year, Kalidou Koulibaly the Defender's Award, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic was named Best Midfielder, Fabio Quagliarella was Top Scorer and Best Striker, and Nicolo Zaniolo won Best Young Player. All five men have had their newly worn badges on their shirts for the first 2 weeks of Serie A, and Ronaldo is the only one of them to decide against wearing it.
Roma have agreed a deal to sign Henrik Mkhitaryan on loan from Arsenal, with an option to buy the attacking midfielder. Here's more on the story.
Mkhitaryan arrived in the Italian capital today to conclude the deal in the final hours of the European transfer window. The 30-year-old signed for Arsenal in January 2018 from Manchester United in a swap involving Alexis Sanchez. 18 months later, both players have left their clubs for loan moves to Serie A, Sanchez having joined Internazionale last week. Mkhitaryan came during Arsenal's draw with Tottenham on Sunday, but has not started since the opening day. He's the third experienced player moved on by Emery in the final days of the window, following Nacho Monreal and Mohamed El Neni, who have joined Real Sociedad and Besiktas respectively.
Charles Leclerc described his maiden Formula One victory as the realization of a childhood dream, but one that he would find difficult to enjoy after the death of his friend Anthony Hubbard. Here's more on the story.
Having won with an admirable drive at the Belgian Grand Prix, Leclerc also acknowledged that racing would always include an element of danger that could not be removed. Leclerc bet Lewis Hamilton to victory at Spa-Francorchamps, but the 21-year-old spoke of how difficult it had been after Hubbard died in the wake of a crash in an F2 race on Saturday. We've lost a friend, first of all, and it's very difficult in these situations, so I would like to dedicate this win to him, he said.
And that Sports Item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimba. Thank you for watching, and good night.